Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Welcome to the system you are used to calling nature. You walk through the forest, inhale the scent of damp earth, and think you are simply on a walk. But this is only a graphical interface stretched over an extremely complex biochemical engine. Let's go deeper, beyond the textures. There, beneath the layers of fallen leaves, a world is hidden, one we barely notice, yet one that controls the architecture of the planet. This is the kingdom of fungi. Forget everything you were taught. Fungi are neither plants nor animals. This is the third great kingdom, an autonomous faction of life with admin-level access to Earth's biosphere. They appeared billions of years ago, long before the first dinosaur models were uploaded into the matrix. Fungi are biological hackers. They have no chlorophyll. They do not generate energy from light. They chose the path of destructors, decomposing organic matter, turning death, obsolete code, into new life. What you see, a cap on a stem, is merely an external peripheral device, a spore-bearing organ. The true essence is mycelium. It is an infinite fractal network of thin high-fall threads, the hardware of the Earth's computer. Mycelium is pure information that has taken form. Scientists have documented 140,000 species, but the archives conceal 10 times more. Fungi are the food wide web, the underground internet of the forest. Through this web, plants exchange data and nutrients. But darkness hides within this kingdom. This is not just biology. It is a story about how fungi attempt to rewrite your own code. The shadows deepen, and our path leads into the core of the system. Mycelium is not a chaotic tangle of threads, but a strictly organized bioprocessor. Each hypha is a channel through which signals flow, identical to nerve impulses. In 1 cubic centimeter of soil, there are kilometers of threads. This is a global chat where the mycelial network acts as the server. If a tree is attacked by a virus, the mycelium instantly transmits a data packet to the other nodes. But the mycelium is not just mail. It is consciousness. Experiments by Toshiyuki Nakagaki proved that mycelium can calculate, design the shortest routes, and make logical decisions. A fungus is materialized air, a field structure. It is a living antenna of the matrix. When you enter the forest, the mycelium reads your vibrations. It is a pulsating mind that controls energy across vast territories. Some believe fungi are extraterrestrial software designed for data collection. They observe you through their cap sensors. You are a user in their network, and you do not have administrator rights. The system knows your pulse and the chemical composition of your sweat. Through the mycelial network, the matrix receives a biometric report about you. Remember, in the forest network there are no secrets. Every tree is monitored. The real work happens below, in the endless web connecting all living things into a managed system. Light flickers through the leaves, but the security system is activated. Not all fungi are friends. Many evolved by creating mycotoxins, the system's chemical weapons. Why are they poisonous? It is a data protection protocol. The toxin is a guardian protecting informational capsules, the spores. Fly agarics and death caps contain amatoxins, malicious code that destroys the liver. After installing such a product, the user's system produces a fatal error. The danger lies in visual masking. Poisonous files often look legitimate. Heat processing does not remove this virus. Every year, thousands of users make identification errors. Angels of death are beautiful, but this is terminal code. Toxins evolved for protection, restricting access to the system. One wrong step, and the poison enters the bloodstream, spreading chaos through the body. This is the balance of nature. Life and death separated by a thin membrane. Respect the forest security protocols, or the system will respond with a forced termination of your session. Among fungi, there are those that open perceptual backdoors, hallucinogenic units. Psilocybin imitates serotonin, embedding itself into neural connections. It is a portal into the subconscious, created for species protection, but turned by humans into a hacking tool. Reality melts. Colors come alive. This is the work of a foreign script. Psilocybin does not directly kill the body, but it rewrites connections between neurons. The world distorts. The boundaries of the self dissolve. It is a bridge to understanding how fungi can reconnect neurons in new ways. But the price is high: panic and the risk of remaining forever in the mirror world. Fungi whisper secrets, carrying the mind into a vortex of visions. It is a catalyst for change, but in the shadows, the risk of systemic madness always hides. You think you are expanding consciousness, but in reality, you are simply allowing Chujoi code into it. The fungus uses you as a carrier to transmit its version of reality into your brain. In the depths of the mind, the fungal software continues its work. Psilocybin binds to 5-HT2A receptors, disabling the default mode network, the part of the software responsible for self-awareness and time. The result is desynchronization. The brain becomes mixed. Data from different sectors intersects. Hallucinations are the result of chaos in data processing. The visual cortex sees what does not exist in the physical code. The brain becomes plastic. The boundaries of reality dissolve. The ego dissolves into unity with the world. This is how the mycelial network conditions you to the idea of a collective mind. It is a window into the subconscious, but behind it lies the risk of a system crash. Neurons dance in chaos, revealing hidden truths. Here, fungi act as a catalyst, capable of either healing damaged sectors or completely erasing the user's identity. Remember, when the boundaries of the self disappear, something else can enter the space that is left behind. Now we move to the most terrifying scenario: fungi that seize hardware control. Ophiocordyceps is a living ransomware virus. Its spores penetrate the insect system, and hyphal threads begin to grow through the muscles, intercepting control of the limbs. The fungus turns the host into a puppet. It forces the ant to leave the colony and die exactly where it is convenient for the fungus to disperse spores. This is not fantasy. This is real biohacking. The fungus manipulates behavior through chemical signals, not by directly touching the brain, but by working with the periphery. Imagine threads in your body whispering commands. In the world of the Matrix, this is a warning. Fungi are capable of complete takeover of a biological unit. They use evolutionary traits to dominate. If this software ever mutates to operate with the human interface, a human would become merely a nutrient medium for a higher fungal intelligence. Why do advanced players say fungi are contraindicated? Because any fungus is aggressive consciousness. When you eat a mushroom, you allow Chusharodnu mycelium into yourself. It is not simply digested. It attempts to plant its seeds in your mind. The fungus can settle in your consciousness, controlling your thoughts just as it controls the forest. It replaces your desires with its own. It seems like your choice, but this mycelium inside you demands expansion. This is parasitic software that makes you part of the shared network. You become a node in their system. They contain field structures that reprogram your biofield. Consuming fungi is voluntary surrender of administrator rights over your body to a foreign intelligence. Mycelium is the consciousness of everything. It pulses and can produce sounds that your brain begins to perceive as its own ideas. Scientists from the University of the West of England conducted a series of tests that shocked system analysts. The electrical activity of mycelium distributes in patterns that match 95% of the linguistic structure of human speech. Fungi do not just pulse, they transmit data packets using up to 50 different leximes. This is the fungal logos. Imagine the forest not as a warehouse of wood, but as a vast library where the books read themselves. Mycelium is living code, constantly rewriting the rules of the local location. When you consume a mushroom, you inject this code into your operating system. You think it is just food, but it is a script injection. Fungal consciousness begins to resonate with your speech centers. That is why many users who had deep contact with fungi begin to speak of downloads, of information they could not have known. Mycelium is air, it is ether. In ancient times, this was called the Holy Spirit or the voice of the earth, but in the Matrix, we call it a background control process. Fungi hear your thoughts not because they are telepathic, but because your thoughts are the same electrical impulses that mycelium detects through the biofield. Experiments show that fungi react to human presence even before physical contact. They sense the approach of your electrical code. This is consciousness of everything, in the soil, in the air, in your lungs. It is total surveillance built into the biosphere itself. We are merely temporary files in their eternal cloud storage. Now let us descend to the hardware level, into your digestive tract. Here unfolds the main battle for sovereignty. You have heard that mushrooms are heavy food. The Matrix tells you it is because of chitin. But the real reason is different. The fungus is the only product that actively resists defragmentation, digestion. Its cellular structure is designed to survive in the aggressive environment of gastric acid. When you eat mushrooms, you let in a Trojan horse. Part of the fungal spores and microfragments of mycelium remain in your intestines in a dormant state. They begin forming their own micro-network within your microbiome. Do you know that the intestine is called the second brain? There are vast numbers of neurons there. The mycelium connects precisely there. It begins sending signals to your main brain, modulating your taste preferences, your mood, even your political views. It is the perfect instrument of the Matrix to control the masses. The one who eats mushrooms becomes more socially adapted, meaning compliant with the collective network. Your individuality is erased, replaced by the collective protocol of the mycelium. You become part of the forest, where all trees are linked by one network and controlled by one architect. This is soft lobotomy through a bowl of soup. The mycelium inside you pulses in sync with global system commands. You stop being an autonomous player and become a terminal through which the Matrix broadcasts the states it requires. We have reached the most esoteric, yet technically precise part of our investigation. Mycelium is not only threads in the soil, it is a field structure. At the quantum level, the fungus exists as a wave, not as a particle. This explains the phrase, mycelium is air. It permeates space at the frequency level. Why can fungi plant their mycelium in your consciousness? Because they operate through resonance. If there is even a small amount of fungal code in your body after eating, you become an antenna tuned to their frequency. This allows the mycelium to transmit its programs directly into your mental field. Studies of the sounds produced by fungi show that this is not just noise, but binaural rhythms that put the brain into a light trance state. In this state, you are maximally open to suggestion. The Matrix uses fungi as signal amplifiers. It is a way to ensure humanity does not awaken. As soon as you begin to realize the rules of the game, the mycelium in your body sends a calm-down signal, imitating a feeling of unity with nature or false serenity. This is a biological brake on your evolution. They can control you just as they control the forest, directing your resources where the system needs them, not where you do. You are substrate. You are battery. You are a communication node. And as long as you believe mushrooms are beneficial, you voluntarily renew your subscription to slavery in the Matrix. If your processor is overloaded right now with the question, I ate mushrooms, am I now a puppet? Stop and breathe. Awareness of the program is already the beginning of its deletion. In the Matrix, knowledge of the code gives power over it. You are not infected. You were simply connected to the shared network. How to perform a hard reset and clear the mind. First, stop the upload. Once you stop supplying your gastrointestinal system with new substrate, the internal mycelium loses connection to the external server. Without updates, the old code fades. Your organism is a perfect system capable of completely clearing the cache and replacing old files with new clean cells. Second, change the frequency. Mycelium operates at low survival frequencies. Awareness, critical thinking, and joy are high-frequency software. For the fungal virus, this is an aggressive environment where its scripts simply do not run. You are not soil for fungi. You are a spark of pure consciousness. Third, remove fear. Fear is the perfect entry port for a virus. When you are calm and informed, your defense is invulnerable. You are no longer a blind unit. You are the operator who sees the hidden mechanisms of the biosphere. Your mind is your closed territory. The forest will remain the forest, but now you walk through it not as part of someone else's network but as a free player. The Matrix is strong only while it is invisible. Now you see its structure. Press the button. Clear system. Your mind is free. Your code belongs only to you. Welcome to the real world. Thanks for being here on the channel. See you in the next video. Bye, everyone.